Very good evening and welcome to yet another episode of Sports 360 with me, Oronje Kusimba. Of course, tonight I'm holding fort for one man, Tony Kwalanda, because Tony Kwalanda happens to be in another different zone. I mean, just the other day we were talking about this other sport called Migingo. I bet he's somewhere just doing what he does best. But of course, today is another packed episode and you're going to have another close to like 60 minutes of nothing but the best showpiece in the world of sports. And I think your overdose, and it's just an overdose of sporting action, begins now. But of course, we do have highlights. And just before I start, just a special mention to most of the people who are winners of our show. And I was lucky to meet, that is Caris today. And I also met with one man, Rono, who we talked about their merchandise collection. And they'll be coming back to pick their merchandise. That is next week. So just we apologize for the inconvenience. But of course, there are more things to be won today. This is the show where you just watch and win. But before we get into that, let me just run over the special highlights of the night. And if my director, Jeremy, you can give me the highlights. First, tonight, I'm going to tell you more about Engine Firat. I'll tell you why people are calling him the plumber. I mean, there is something that he has done, so you should just stay tuned for more in regards to that. Then Omanyala, Ferdinand Omanyala has done a remarkable thing, and I'm going to tell you what he has done. Far from him, or rather, let me not give you a sneak peek of that, but I'm just going to tell you what he has done. Then, of course, there's the sports vacation. Kenya is a sporting vacation for many sports people. So that is Lewis Hamilton in your picture. But of course, there is some of the people who have come to Kenya for other vacations. So I'm going to tell you more in regards to that. But of course, there is also the question of the day. I told you that there is merchandise and we do have hoodies courtesy of Warrior, and there are more goodies. You imagine you can still get yourself a hoodie and also a jogger. I think ni joga ama nitaisema kama joka, but you can still be a winner of tonight's show by just watching and winning. Just tell us tonight, which team did Harambee Stars lose to? Which team did Harambee Stars lose to? Remember, you can get interactive via social media platforms at LookUp across all social media platforms, and also my Instagram and my Twitter is also active for the night. Hashtag Sports360. Just tell me what you feel and what you know about that specific question. The question goes, which team did Harambee Stars lose to? You can stand a chance to win 1,000 bob and also merchandise courtesy of Warrior. And we are going to talk more about that specific Harambee Stars contingent, which I understand they have already wameland pale JKIA. They landed at around 5:10 p.m. if I'm not wrong. But of course, more in regards to that are coming. And now to the big one. Kenya versus that team that you're supposed to tell me which Kenya lost to. It was a big encounter. And for most of the people who actually thought that Kenya is going to win this specific one, mtacheka kweli, because Kenya lost to that specific team, which you are supposed to tell me which team is that. And at a scoreline of 1-0, it was a four-nation tournament, and Kenya came third, if I'm not wrong. And of course, there is Mauritius, which that is where the tournament was being played. And the four teams that were in circuit, I might as well be safe to say that Djibouti actually clobbered the specific team that Kenya lost to. I don't want to staki kumaliza nikupatie mwa Kenya, but remember, you can reach us via social media platforms across all social media platforms. That is LookUPTV, and answer the question of the day, which I asked you, which team did Kenya lose to? And you can stand a chance of winning merchandise courtesy of Warrior. And of course, 1,000 bob courtesy of Tony Kwalanda, who will tell us where he is tonight. That guy is going to join us tonight. Now, to the second one. Engine Firat, most of you just called him a plumber simply because of the match that was played. And one thing I can say about this specific match, because you all want to know my take in regards to this, is that I think the team lost because most of the players were not played in their positions. For the longest time, I've watched Dennis Sakari I meant to say that Dennis Sakari was outplayed. He did not play his formation. He did not play his position. And there's the like of Moses Schumer. Moses Schumer came in handy because most of you did not know him. And I'm pretty much sure when he comes back home, a lot of you will be geared and also enticed to look at his specific matches, because that dude really showed us that he really earned that jersey. And now over to most of the stories that we do have for the night. This is Moranga Seals and Shabana promoted. I think this is the story that most of you have all been waiting for. I mean, Wakisi wamekuwa na kiburi hii town ever since Shabana was promoted. And I just wanted to get the gist of how Kisii town was when they had the news, when the news broke up that Shabana has been promoted to the FKF Premier League. Now, something funny, I think it's a coincidence, because one of our guests tonight, who happens to be Eric Onchiri, will tell us more in regards to this, because ye pia anatoka huko Kisii. I've been told that right now, if you want to talk to a Kisii, you first start with Shabana is playing the FKF Premier League before you start mentioning other things that you're saying. And Shabana, the last time Shabana was in the Premier League, that was 2006. I mean, that is 14 years of rebuilding, nothing but the best. Moranga Seals, at least Moses Kuri atapata kitu ingine ya kuona apart from what he is currently doing. But of course, we support and we love football. I mean, sports is the only thing that keeps us united. So we are more than willing to see the season as we start up with Moranga Seals and Shabana. It's going to be a big one, especially when Shabana is going to play with Gor Mahia. And if that match is going to happen at Gusii, that's where you'll see how people come in and support their football team. I mean, those people have mad support for that specific team. Now, moving on swiftly, we do have Kenya being a land of sports vacations. I mean, if I can get you guys' attention, I think Lewis Hamilton was here in Kenya. And this time around, do you know who was here in Kenya? I mean, Sergio Busquets, all the way from Barcelona, tunamjua hapo kama midfielder hatari sana, because that guy, when he handles the midfield, I think Barcelona has no other problem when it comes to that. The beautiful pictures that you're just seeing over there is Lewis Hamilton. When he came to Kenya, that was early this year, and now that is Sergio Busquets. Other people who are renowned and actually visited this good country, among them ni Jose Mourinho pia alikuja katutembelea kidogo, and we also have the likes of Thomas Tuchel. I think watu wenye wamehandle Chelsea ndio wanapenda kuja kutembea hapa hivi Kenya. So if my director can just bring it up, there is a video, and that is the specific video of Sergio Busquets, because he went all the way to Mara. You people should not be looking at Masais just like that, because Masais are the people who meet with these specific guys firsthand. Sasa angalia pale. And I think the two boys, they look bored. Yeah. Okay, now that is Sports 360 for you. We are giving you an in-depth coverage of what happens in and around sports across the globe. If it's something to do with sports and it happened in this world, you're surely not going to get it anywhere if it's not Sports 360. And of course, today I'm holding in fort for one man, Tony Kwalanda, because Tony Kwalanda is somewhere doing what he does best. But of course, remember, we had told you earlier on that you can stand a chance of watching and winning by just telling us which team do you think Harambee Stars lost to. Which team do you think Harambee Stars lost to? You can get interactive as possible via social media platforms. Of course, you can stand a chance of winning 1,000 shillings airtime. Sasa sijui kama utataka tukupatie hiyo 1,000 ama we are going to translate it to airtime. But the choice is yours. Watch and win. unaweza to text, get interactive as possible. Remember, I told even my social media handles, Oronje Kusimba, across all social media platforms. We go by the hashtag sports360. And tunasonga wapi? These are the AFCON qualifiers, and we all know that the game has been played, and the moves have been going on swift and kind. And now to bring to your attention, because teams have already been playing, and just to sample out some of the results, I can get Rwanda versus Mozambique. That's a game that went in 2-0 in favor of Rwanda. Tanzania versus Niger. That is 1-0 in favor of Tanzania. Madagascar versus Ghana, that's a 0-0 encounter. This match, I actually wanted to see this match, and I think I'll just get a recap of what went on. Because when you see Ghana and when you see Madagascar, you tend not to believe the scores because it was a barren draw in this specific one. Then there is Eswatini and Togo, that is 2-0 courtesy over Togo. Uganda, Algeria 2-1 courtesy of Algeria. Cape Verde, Burkina Faso, that is 3-1. Congo, Mali, that is 2-0 courtesy of Mali. Sierra Leone and Nigeria, that is, I beg your pardon, 3-2 courtesy of Nigeria. Gabon and DR Congo, that is 2-0 in favor of Congo. Now, if my director can just pull in the graphics so that we can just get it. But of course, I'm being told to move on with the question of the day, which I had earlier on asked you. Which team lost? Which team did Harambee Stars lose to? Remember, if you get that question correct, you stand a chance of winning 1,000 shillings airtime. And just to put you in the loop is that as I was starting, I mentioned something to do with that specific team, because Harambee Stars lost their last match, that is 1-0. Now tell us that specific team, and we'll be in a position to tell you what we can give you. You can get hoodies courtesy of Warrior and also 1,000 bob airtime. Haya basi, now kazi ni kwako. You are the one who is left with only one thing to do, to watch and win. This is Sports 360 with me, Oronje Kusimba. And now, first things first, allow me to reintroduce one man by the name Eric Onchiri. Now, Eric Onchiri, huyu jamaa tumetoana mbali sana. Mambo vipi?
Poa sana.
Yeah. How's life? How has your week been?
My week has been okay. We're just from a game in Rongo University, whereby our team was the champions. Yeah.
That is the Easter Falcons.
The Easter Falcons rugby. Yeah.
Mmeamua nini hizi hizo? Unataka kuchukua vitu by surprise?
Hii season tumeamua wacha tu punch mali tunaweza. Yeah, so we want to go all in and see where we can reach higher than last year's position. Yeah, so our target is basically if we can make it to the semis in all the circuit, then that will be a plus for us.
A plus for you. And of course, Eric Onchiri is not alone, because we are being joined with one man, Monate Akwe, all the way from New York City. Am I supposed to say New York City or New York City? This is the first Kenyan stroke South Sudanese to play pro rugby in the States. That is New York Rugby, and he plays his ball there. And most of the people who've witnessed his growth include Eric Onchiri, because he has been part of his growth. And I've also witnessed him, because this man, I mean, he just came all the way from Nakuru, Wanyore, rising strides all the way to New York City, and it started with dreaming. And tonight's bone of contention actually lies in the question that I had told Eric Onchiri we should discuss about this specific topic, because we keep on disregarding it. And is it important for sports personalities to brand themselves properly when it comes to social media? Now, before I let Eric delve into that, maybe we can just get a gist of how the New York air seems and looks like if we have Monate online. Monate? Monate, mambo vipi bro? Okay, Eric, if we're still getting Monate sorted out, yeah, just why should we invest in social media? Because we are seeing a lot of players just overlooking that specific factor. But again, you're a media manager and you say that social media is actually real and it's something that can help our players grow from one level to another.
Okay, social media is important in this new era because there's a new generation with new interests, and also this is the time whereby we have more in terms of alternative media compared to the normal mainstream media. So social media is important to rugby players and also sports personalities because it's another avenue of engaging with their fans. That's one. Also creating content and make money out of it as well. And also it's also a path for maybe a career transition, so that it helps you out when you leave the sports world, and then you get a backup plan in terms of depending on how you use your social media as a sports person.
Okay, allow me to cut you short. My director tells me that we do have Monate, who is actually all the way from New York City. Monate, if you can hear me loud and clear, ambia wa Kenya kitu.
Hey, hello, Monate here. I'm so happy to be here, and nashukuru sana.
Now, Monate, how's involving Eric Onchiri here, who I'm sure you all know him, and you also know him, referring to him as Chichi. He's been on the ground for so long, he's covered everyone, he's seen you grow from step by step. Now, how can you tell the world out there and also other sports personalities, especially here in Kenya, in regards to social media? Because we see your social media being very much packed when it comes to content and also just making your product, making yourself as a product.
Yeah, so I love social media a lot, and social media is like a big part of my life. And the importance of it is, I have like a couple of points I wrote down. So the first one is like, branding yourself. When you brand yourself, keep on posting your highlights, keep on like, posting like whatever you do, post all your personalities out there. And it makes it easy for like, even if you want to reach out to other clubs, it makes it easy because they stalk your page and they want to see what kind of person you are. So as for me, I have like, I have so many things that I do on my reels, I'll post some motivational stuff, and then tomorrow you'll see some funny stuff on my page. And then next time you'll see me like, just doing something silly and all that. And all those personalities, they all come into one, and someone is like, okay, now this is the kind of person we like, because there's a lot of people out there who are fake on social media. And you tend to see like this one picture of them, one page, and then you find out like they're not who they are on social media, But if you like, just be diverse, post like a lot of stuff out there, people will be easy to identify you. People are gonna just like you just off that, and you're gonna get opportunities off that. The other one is like brand deals. As an athlete, the more you get the brand deals, the more you get those free stuff, you promote them on your social media and all that, the more you grow too, because people are gonna be interested in you. And people being interested in you makes you like, level up your standards. And when you level up your standards too, it like helps you grow personally, because you can handle all that little pressure that comes from social media and all that stuff, And another thing is like, same thing, sales to marketing. You can market yourself. You can start your own brand on social media. And if people already like, follow you and all that, social media is a good platform whereby, you can reach out to many people. And Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, they're like boosting people, you know what I'm saying? Just one video, you need one video to blow up. And once you blow up, it's easy to be identified. And there's a lot into it, man. And I just love every minute of it,
Okay, and Monate, before we just come back to you, Eric, you are handling a lot of rugby players' accounts. What can you say is the reception in regards to that? Wanakubali ama wanasumbua? Because Monate here explains that it's actually important for you to brand yourself in a manner that you can also be identified with a different club.
Okay, it depends, because there's some players who are willing to embrace the new technology, and the others feel like social media is part of the problems in their lives. Like some of them don't want to share a lot of information and stories about themselves. Some of them feel like social media is just another avenue of connecting with the outside community. But to me, I feel like social media is another medium of connecting more fans, your team's fans, and also it's a way of building your brand as a person, so that in future when you transition from maybe that sport to the outside world, you can end up doing something something that is going to be engaging to your followers. When you look at the likes of someone like Ombachi, Lavina Sego, those are people who have already transitioned from playing to, and when you look at their social media, they are active and they do have good following for brands to come and loop in, or even be a brand ambassadors.
Okay, now as I head to Monate, I want to leave with something that you can maybe chew it about. There is a Bet, and you also know Bet. He's been in the field for so long, dealing with matters social media. And there is one thing that he mentioned, and I think it's something that I should bring to your attention. The issue of clubs having multiple accounts. We are seeing clubs, hawezi tafuta Nakuru na upate Nakuru ndio hii. Hawezi tafuta Daystar upate Daystar ndio hii. There's this issue of having multiple accounts, and the way players are calling themselves ameachana na jina yake
Jemule wa mtaa.
Jemule wa mtaa, such kind of names. Okay. Are they good for us? Now, Monate, let me just ask you, back then ukiwa kule Nakuru, Wanyore, when you guys were actually, what can you comment in regards of how social media was handled with teams here in the country as to how social media is being handled back there in New York?
Oh yeah, so social media back in Kenya there was a lot to it, It was more of like, you want that fame, you want your friends to be like, damn, he has a very awesome name and all that. But out here, like, people just prefer you have your real name, because that's you. Nobody's gonna like, start like looking for Jim Wamta out there. Like, it's gonna be hard to find you. And I also like tying the note back to like what he said about social media being a problem. Social media is not a problem because back home in Kenya, like how things are, when I was, getting up into the ranks of rugby, I used to like post my highlight just a little bit, one of it. Alafu nasikia senior players wanasema, huyu jamaa ameanza kupost vitu zake. So in a trend, what I'm saying, everybody's like ashamed of like posting his highlights because they're afraid of what other people will say. But now it's gonna be easy because as soon as you post your highlights, everybody will just see it, So the thing about it is like, don't care about what other people will say. And that's one thing that I think here in America, a lot of people do a lot. They don't care about what people are going to say. If I'm happy about what I'm posting, I'll keep on posting it, I'm not going to be ashamed. I won't feel bad. And I think that's one way of like getting to the next level because there's so many people in Kenya, like they're texting me, Monate, ndafikaje huko, nafanyaje hivi. But ukienda kwa page yake, hana hata highlight hata moja. Ukimwambia kutumia resume yake ya rugby, hana. So it becomes so hard, So putting yourself out there, put your real name out there, have your highlights out there. Don't be ashamed. And I think that's, one big thing that can help you blow up or grow,
Okay, thank you very much, Monate, for that. And Onchiri, as we wind up, just you had something to say in regards to that issue ya watu kujiita Jemule wa mtaa, such kind of names, and maybe you can just follow it up with the issue of clubs. Are clubs embracing the art of social media and also making it formal? Wanakuita wanakupea kazi. Are we taking the market seriously?
Because in Kenya we had Impala doing the most of it in rugby. So Impala usually respects social media, and then we also have Daystar Falcons coming through.
We also have KCB, the likes of Omuka is doing a very good thing with that.
We have KCB, we have Kenya Harlequins, we have Cabras as well. So currently we have more rugby teams embracing social media and also coming up with ways whereby they have people who are specifically doing that job. So that is a plus compared to back then when you used to have very few teams, when even just looking for information was a bit hard. So the issue of clubs having, more than one account, some of these clubs usually hire people and then end up not paying them. So sometimes people just end up holding their accounts because...
So you're trying to say that we've not accepted the market yet?
Fully. We've not accepted the market fully, but it's a work in progress. So far, people have started embracing it, and we're going to see a big change in the coming 7th circuit.
Okay, because my director tells me I'm almost out of time. But of course, I think Monate, just closing remarks as we wind up, just tell them just a word to players who are actually watching the show and they're not doing something with their accounts, because I understand that you're also a product of texting. That was a DM. You dropped a DM to Rugby New York, and look where you are right now.
Yeah.
They called you up. Just final remarks as we wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So where the world is heading right now, it's heading towards social media, and social media is like almost everything now. People sell stuff on social media. People find each other on social media, like the branding, as you already talked about it. But the main thing that I can just say is grow your social media, because you never know who's watching you out there, and it's good to like just have a social life. Even if you don't like sharing everything about your social life, no problem. Leave that alone. But if you focus on rugby and you want to grow too, just take social media seriously. Just grow with it, and don't be afraid to like reach out, send those DMs and everything. So it's gonna help out like that. And I think that's the only thing I can say. Don't be ashamed. Post your highlights. Post anything that you feel like it's worth being shared out there, and that's gonna be a big key in the future.
Okay, thank you very much, Monate. All the way from New York, this guy plays a pro rugby for the New York rugby team, and he's been of great insight tonight. I mean, nothing but the best. That is just one of an objective mind in regards to social media. And of course, Eric Onchiri, asante sana. Thank you for making time, and thank you for urging other social media counterparts and also other clubs in the country that social media actually means something to us. Remember, this is Sports 360 with me, Oronje Kusimba, and earlier on, as we promised, we'll be telling you more and more in regards to WRC preparations. But of course, right about now, let's take that short commercial break. Don't touch that dial.